Welcome, everybody. So you have come to Fireside Chat. Today, my husband said, why is it even called that? And I was like, well, because talking with a principal sounds so boring. So I want to go camping with people and I just want to chat. And if you were able to join us on previous sessions, maybe some of your questions were answered. But today it's myself, Jeff Grant, our principal, I'm the principal. And we also have Jordan. Jordan, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm Jordan Altmeyer. I am the office supervisor at IPA. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. As just a check-in, help us know where we can go with our limited time together.
Wait.
Would you please put into the chat, if you're able to, can you just add, what do you feel like you've got about the transition to hybrid, or what's going on in the next week or so? And then what do you hope to understand? Can you give us an indication?
Oh, there. Yay.
Welcome. Hi, everybody. So in the chat, let us know what you understand and what you hope to understand. Okay, well, I don't see much in the chat, but I put something in chat, so it would be there, and I'll just read it, and then I'll read the rest of yours if you have things that you're adding, and then we have this time, and I could go through all of the we could go through all of the communication that's come out, but I really don't want to double up on your time. Your time is really valuable. So I will just leave it open to questions that you have, and then either point you to where the resource is, find it together, or we'll just, Jordan and I will give a quick answer. So a couple of the questions that I see, well, I started with, I understand the schedule, especially because I was a part of making it, but I hope to understand how it's going to feel for students in class or at home. And I think that's where our teachers are also. We have a very true hybrid model, and we are going to be learning a lot about it. And then we'll just read through the questions, and I think we'll just begin to answer them unless you have other things that you want. I also could go through other, this meeting is being recorded. I could go through other slides, so I have these available that I can share at any time, but I'm going to stop sharing for a moment just so that we can see each other. Nicole asks, and you guys, I'm just going to answer the questions. So casual. Hi, Nicole. Nicole asks, how often do students get tested? All of our students and staff are getting tested, asymptomatic tested, the first time before they return to school. But then students will only get tested if they have any symptoms or if they're requesting a test, students and staff. As the tiers have decreased, or as the tiers have changed with COVID rates, the requirement for asymptomatic testing is not there any longer. It is a recommendation. And so we're still holding to that recommendation as we begin. But we won't have to do regular testing of students. I don't think, LBOSD also just announced no more asymptomatic testing. Olive asks, I understand the new schedule. Me too, Olive, you and me. And how long each block is. Great. And Olive, how long is each block?
An hour and 15 minutes.
Oh. That's right. I was like, is that the same thing as 75 minutes? But you clearly know this. I'm glad that it is. We still feel like we're losing time together, and we want longer amounts of time. I really do look forward to the fall where we'll get that back, I hope. Thank you, Olive. Claudia asks, they will be getting 4 days of instruction still. Yes. So students in other situations might have more asynchronous time where they're doing work all on their own. But in our model, students have asynchronous time on Mondays, although Mondays are going to be our tutoring days, our advisory days, and beginning next Monday, it's going to be these office hour times that teachers have for students, where any student can go to any of their teachers. We'll be announcing that this Friday and then putting it in Parent Square so that students can log in and online too. But at IVA, there will be 4 days of instruction with teachers. Thank you for pointing.
Okay, so
Yes. Oh, hi. Welcome. And then I'm going to keep going. What is the office hour schedule for Monday? So we are protecting the tutoring time. So there's a 6th grade tutoring time, 7th and 8th grade. So teachers are going to be offering office hour schedules throughout the day on Monday before 1:30. 1:30 is when teachers have their professional development, but between advisory and professional development, teachers are going to be opening up at an hour, I believe an hour and a half of office hours. And we're releasing that schedule. We'll probably be releasing it on Friday. And that'll begin on Monday. And students can use that casually. They can come in just to say hi to their teacher and ask any questions they have, or they can actually work on assignments or ask questions about specific things. Karen says, hello, Karen. How will tests will implement this year for distance learning students? Oh, is this, Karen, is this the like state testing that the question is about, or is it COVID testing? I always wonder. You're welcome to speak.
There's a response in the chat, the state testing.
State testing. Okay. So state testing month for us is in May. We'll have 1 week of students returning to in-person instruction, and then the following week, students will begin to take their state tests in their literature and composition classes. So state testing will only take place in one of their classes for the 4 weeks of May. In the very first week of May, it'll be in their lit comp classes, their English test and their lit comp classes. The second week of May, they're having extended time on those tests in their social science classes. So we link up the humanities together. In the third week of May, we start the math tests, and those will be in the math class. And in the fourth week of May, students have extended time to do their math tests in their science classes. We will put that in the newsletter also. I know that's coming soon, but we really don't want to, we're trying not to inundate you with all the information, but please let me know if there are other questions also about that.
Thanks, Jake. Is this state testing? I know for some students already come to school in person. They take at the school in person, but for the students selected to continue with the virtual, do they take the state test virtual?
Yeah, thank you for clarifying there. Yeah, so the state test is all through an app that's on IVA's registered Chromebooks. So whether a student is in person or at home, they will be logging on to the same app, and their teachers will be showing them how to do it. So it will be the same for both. And in fact, if your student has 1 day a week in lit comp in person, if they're coming in, and then 1 day at home, so everyone's going to experience taking the state test at home at some point. Some people might start there, but so it'll be the same for all students, and we're going to slowly roll that out.
I see. For the 6th graders, they're pretty new to using the Chrome to take the state test. Will they have some kind of training or any sessions before that start?
Yeah, definitely. There are some technical changes in the state test, so we're all going to have some technical training on the computer before we get started.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. Jordan, I don't know if you would be willing to answer this question. Liz asks, I'd like to understand drop off, where students wait before entering campus. Could you describe that for us?
Yes. So before we dropped off closer to 36 or 37th, which one is it, Jackie?
37th.
Okay, thank you. Before we dropped off closer to 37th, now it'll be closer to 36th, but it'll still be on Elm. And so we'll just ask parents to pull up, parents or guardians to pull up and wait for their student to come through the gate. But we're going to have an orange pop-up tent there every day. And so there's a gate closer. And so we'll just have a big orange pop-up tent. You'll see us office staff there. And so students will begin lining up. We have 6-foot markers on the curb. And so students can get out and begin lining up. But with the staggered start, it's really nice because there'll only be about 30 per grade level that are lining up. And so there should be parking for everyone, no double parking, but there should be enough space now that it's not as many families as before. So you'll just come to where the orange tent is, they'll get out and line up. And then we are asking that families wait and make sure your student goes through the gate. So make sure their temperature gets taken, they go through, and then you're good to pull away. So let me know if there's more questions there.
Yeah. And then, oh,
we do have a picture, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the picture.
Can I ask a follow-up to that? Thank you so much, Jordan. I appreciate that. As far as the health screening verification, how does the parent verify that with you? Does the parent get out of the car as well and wait with the child? Or how do you check on their app that they have completed successfully the health screening for the child to enter campus?
Great question. Thank you, Liz. So the Parent Square health screening will become available tomorrow afternoon and next week as well. So it will just become available. And it'll be on your home screen in Parent Square in the very top right corner. It'll be a daily little prompting that's up there. Or on the left-hand side, there's a menu that says participate, and it'll show your health screening and whether you yourself have done it that day or not. Us as an office staff will be checking it every morning. So every morning before 8 a.m., we will see who has or has not completed it. And so, yes, if a family pulls up and we see they haven't completed it, then we can prompt at that point. But we'll check every morning and see who has and who hasn't.
So one more question, sorry, and then I'll let you guys move on. So does that mean that I would be able to complete it super early in the morning and then go to work, and then husband is dropping off and wouldn't have to do that because you guys could check and see that that screening has been done? So there's no I2 app verification at drop off. It's just electronic. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just imagining my morning, like when will I leave? And right before I leave the house, I need to pull up my Parent Square, do my health screening, then get in my car. Like I was just walking through. Okay,
Yeah.
does he have his backpack and his Chromebook and his charger? Those kind of things.
Yes, I have a follow-up question on that one. How early in advance you'd like parents to or students to be there to get into the class on time?
That's a good question. I would imagine, so for 6th grade, they'll begin at 8:20. And so I would say 10 minutes early for each grade. But because of the staggered start, that should give us enough time to bring in the full grade. So I would say 10 minutes early would be sufficient.
So the arrival is on Elm, which is at the back of IVA's campus, and the gate here is where we're coming in. And 6th graders can come exactly as Jordan said, 10 minutes in advance. It should be a very quick process.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah. Next question. Will someone be helping the 6th graders know how to get to your classes? Claudia, I'm so glad you asked that question. That's one of the things I'm really excited about. We have set up protocols so that teachers are always walking with students, at least in the first week or so. Students are actually even going to wear name tags because this will be the first time that they will be like physically in person with people. All of our students, all of our staff will wear name tags, and the teachers will be escorting the students to the class, but also all students, sixth grade especially, that will take a little tour of the school on the first day that they're here in person. So we will always make sure that students know exactly where to go, exactly where to use the restroom and how, and things like that. Olive asks, can students walk home without a parent or guardian? Yes. Once students are dismissed from the gate, you go, you are out because you are middle school. And Nicole, can students ride their bikes to school, or does a parent need to bring them? As long as the parent has done the health screening online, then students are able to ride their bikes to school. If a student has a temperature when it's time for them to check in, the protocol is that we'll have the student step aside and we'll test them again in 5 minutes. And if the high temperature remains, then we will call home, let parents know, and have the student go home. Or at least like talk to the parent before we send them off into the world again. I imagine students will have a little bit more heat on them if they're biking to school. Michael asks, are office hours online or in person? Everything on Monday is going to be online. So all the office hours will be online, and the office hours will be, actually, I think some teachers are going to offer office hours at the end of the day, Tuesday through Friday, but it will be in the schedule. Everything will be already identified of when those open times are. When will we get results for state test? That's a really good question. I don't remember the answer. I think it's within 6 weeks, but it could be sooner. Does anyone out there know the answer to that? I will find that out. Thank you for asking that question. So when we share information about state tests, we'll make sure that we get that
I
question
know.
there too. And then, will students only test on in-person days? So students are going to do state testing from home or in person. Either way, they will have direct support from their teacher, but they will be testing when they are scheduled for their lit comp class in the first week. I see how early in advance do you need to arrive? No more than 10 minutes early. What if your child walks to school? It's okay as long as the health screening is there. Okay. I'm sorry that you have sound troubles. What else do you wonder? I also, I can very boringly just go through all these slides, but I want you to know that they're on our website. All of the information, the specific details that we have, and even the answers to previous questions that parents have had, the detailed kind of questions, all of these are listed on our website. And let me take us to that so you can see where it is. But what other questions do you have? Ooh.
And Jackie, I've linked this page in the chat as well.
Thank you. So on IVA's website, ivalongbeach.org, we have a drop-down menu called Spring Communication, and we've put the slideshow that has all the previous Fireside chat question and answers. We even put in questions from students' session that happened on Monday morning, which I think was just yesterday. And the new bell schedule is there as well. What else? Thank you for posting that, Jordan. Most of the questions we got from students on Monday were about dress code. And the biggest hot topic about dress code is labels or logos. Like, how big can logos be? Are you sure that you don't want logos on clothes? So we had a lot of time talking about that with a lot of different students, but we're trying to have no logos just so that we can have it be plain and not distracting. Although I am encouraging like polka dots and flannel wear. So it's a very open year for our teachers as well. They are excited to be able to wear jeans through the week. Huge benefits of this hybrid model. Oh, good. Thank you. Jordan has already been. Oh, maybe there were questions from the other Fireside chat. Okay. Guys, if we figured everything out, you should just go home. But what else?
Can I see if you answered one? And if you did, I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Somebody asked, will someone be helping the sixth graders to get to their classes? Did you answer that one?
Yes. Teachers will be escorting. And somebody asked also, I think it was last week, will there be an opportunity for students, sixth graders especially, who are in distance learning this year to come into school at any time? So we're going to have to figure that out later. I think it's a fantastic idea. We are doing a lot of research to find out what kind of events can we have. I have a personal desire to do things like roller skate together as a community, but we're looking for what we can do to make sure that students feel like it's already their school when they come next year in the 7th grade for maybe the first time being on campus. There was also an idea for like a video for families, a tour of the campus, but I think we might not be able to prioritize that. I have not told students that cell phones aren't allowed on campus. So we have details about having kids on campus. We are really excited. I mean, I guess I'll announce it here for the first time. Our wonderful counselor, Amos Michaeli, has his second baby. And so he's on our paternity leave. And an amazing USC counselor intern who was here last year is able to come the whole time for the remainder of the year. So we are going to have someone who can be there just to check in with kids and talk to them and help work through any tensions or problems that come up as well. Yes, 7th graders, everyone's going to get a tour of the school, especially because we're going to walk around and talk about protocols. But all students will get a tour of the school on the first day that they're here. And then after the first class, teachers are going to walk students down and show them where to line up if they need to use the restroom, or take them out to the blacktop and show them where their space is. So it's very personal.
And there's a lunch question from Liz. Are students required to take the lunch, or is that optional?
Oh, it is optional for students to take the lunch. I think in the first week, I need to check, but I think in the first week, we will probably walk students past the lunch and say, look, here is the food. You can pick it up. Food is available for everyone, whether or not they want to take it. It's totally available for them. So you and your family, I would suggest that students just take the food, bring it home to their family, and say, like, should I be taking this food on a daily basis? A benefit. Yeah, Jordan, can you tell us more about food?
Yes, of course. So for the students who are on campus, there is, yes, the optional encouraged snack and lunch to go. And for students who do pick up those meals, then on Wednesday and Friday, I believe it was, for the in-person students, they'll get extra meals. So like that will be their bundle. But for distance learning families, you want to come on Mondays from 1 to 3 p.m. through the old back gate on Elm, and we will have meal bundles, so it's 5 lunches and 5 breakfasts. But let me know what questions you guys have about that. Good questions, everybody.
So unless there are other questions, what I'm going to ask, just because we're here and we're part of a community, I'm going to stop sharing unless there's other questions. But I have a closing question that I feel like if I heard from other people, it would be really nice also. How is your child feeling about this transition? What have they been saying or thinking? You can put this in the chat. And then what support does it seem like they need from you? So Olive, answer for your mom. Like, how are you feeling, and what support do you need from your mom in this transition? Give us anything you can. Oh, we got Mackenzie's so excited to be back with people again. This is the second day we've had our staff on campus, and it has changed the joy level in my soul. I see, excited but nervous. Especially sixth graders. Ben seems excited to be returning. Good. Very excited, but also nervous. Yep. Especially sixth graders, I imagine. Excited, although he will not admit it. Sure. Absolutely. Just a story for you all, to be middle school educators and to have sixth graders come in at the very beginning of the school year. There are kids who just start crying. And we get to be the adults that are like, are you okay? Let's give you a little bit of space to process what you're doing, wash your face and go back to class. So although I don't want to say like I miss that, I hope it happens. I hope someone's so nervous that they're going to need our adult staff to be like, want to go on a walk? We'll just walk around for a little bit. We're going to take care of you. Okay, you guys, if you have any questions that haven't been answered, or you need anything, please let us know. Email info@ivalongbeach.org or call the office. But I see a couple more. Phoebe is excited to physically have class with her Zoomies. And then I'm feeling excited that we get to see people. Yes, it's so exciting. I hope it feels like the end of this year has a special treat to it. Okay, I'm going to really early bid you all farewell. Please let us know what questions you have, but have a great day. Say hi to your kids for us, please. And Olive, I'm so glad to see you at this meeting.
So nice. Have a good evening.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Have a good night.